Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and I was always told how to voice the radio. So today, I'm going to be showing you a deck that's gone and been winning in Japan, that is all Dragonite all of the time. It's a big old Dragonite deck. And the good news is that the changes that have to be made to turn it from a Japanese format deck into an US format deck are negligible, honestly. There's almost no changes need to be made, and the ones that are fairly obvious. This is good. And what else is good? We are actually rocking 3 different Dragonite in this particular deck. How cool is that? Now, what is probably the maybe headline Dragonite at the moment is the new GX, the one that came out in Unified Minds. The new GX from Unified Minds, for 5 colorless energy, does 270 damage, and you discard free energy attached to this Pokemon. And 270 damage will get stuff like Reshiram and Charizard, and Mewtwo and Mew. There are a few Pokemon here and there that it won't get a KO on, probably most notably is Mega Sableye and Tyranitar, but the vast majority of Pokemon will go down to that. Now there are a couple of other attacks. Free Energy 130 is fine, especially against non-GX decks, and we do have a GX attack here. You may discard any number of cards from your hand until you have 9 or fewer, and then draw cards until you have 10 cards in your hand. So it's basically Sightseer, but to 10 instead of to 5, which is pretty awesome. We're cool with this. So here's your big attacker, but we have a couple of other Dragonite as well. We have the Dragonite that came around in Team Up. Now, free energy 120 is not terribly impressive. What we love about Dragonite here is fast cool. Once during your turn before you attack, you may search your deck for a supporter card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. It's supporter search. Cool. Don't use it as an attacker, do use it to get your supporters. And then we have the Dragonite that just came out in Unified Minds with, again, now the attack here is actually better. 4 energy, 170 discard free. But honestly, we'll talk about it in a minute, it's not that difficult to pay. It looks it, but it's not. But it does 170, which KOs almost any non-GX. So essentially, against a non-GX deck, use this as your main attacker. You're KOing them, and you've got 160 HP, you're very hard to KO. And against a GX-heavy deck, in comes Dragonite GX, and again, you're getting a one-hit KO on them, but with 250 HP, you're going to be very hard to KO yourself. But we also have an ability on this Dragonite. Once during your turn, you may attach a water energy and a lightning energy from your hand to your Pokemon in any way that you like. It does not have to be on this Dragonite. This Dragonite does not need to be active. If this is sitting on the bench, you can attach to your active Dragonite. And this changes everything because, spoiler alert, we're using triple acceleration energy. And now we're attaching 5 energy a turn. 2 with this Dragonite, 3 with triple acceleration energy. So that Dragonite GX that looks really difficult to pay the energy cost, it's really not. 1 of these, triple acceleration energy, and you're off. Dragonite GX says that you've got to discard free energy to attack, but it doesn't matter because triple acceleration energy is getting discarded anyway. This Dragonite says you've got to discard free energy to attack, but it doesn't matter because triple acceleration energy is getting discarded anyway. And your best bet here really is 1 water, 1 lightning. Triple acceleration, yes, you're slightly overpaying, but then you've got the water and the lightning ready for next turn, so that you can just attach another triple acceleration and go. You can go 2 water, 2 lightning, discard 3 of them, and then next turn, hurricane charge and attach from your hand to pay it. But trying to attach 3 every turn is going to get awkward. When you could set it up so you just need a triple acceleration energy, I think that's probably a slightly better idea here. And there your 3 Dragonite. And they all work beautifully together. Remember, Dragonite GX and Dragonite have different names, so you can only have 4 in combination of the non-GXs, but you could have 4 of the GX if you like. As a side note, this deck does not play the Dragonite GX, the first one from Dragon Majesty. There's nothing to stop you doing so. The best thing about it is the GX attack. For a triple acceleration energy, you get to put 3 dragon Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench, even if they're stage 2s, etc. Honestly here, I'm not such a huge fan of this, purely because you're sitting in the active, and there are plenty of Pokemon out there like Mewtwo and Mew, like Blacephalon, who will be able to get a one-hit KO. You do not want to take that risk. Gardevoir and Sylveon actually hitting you for weakness, also pretty risky being active in front of those. Now, in terms of other Pokemon here, there's one other real attacker we need, and it's Mega Lopunny and Jigglypuff. And you can expect to see this popping up in a lot of decks moving forward. It was in the Mewtwo and Mew deck I showed you yesterday. 3 colorless energy, or indeed a triple acceleration energy, and it does 60 damage, plus 60 more for each EX or GX your opponent has in play. Against EX and GX heavy decks, and there are a bunch of them out there, this is pretty awesome. We then see 1 Tapu Koko Prism Star. Now this is invaluable in this deck. You pop it on the bench, you Lost Zone it, and then you attach 2 Lightning Energy, 1 to each of 2 of your bench Pokemon. This is a deck that needs Lightning Energy. It's an absolute no-brainer. Now, the deck does play Tapu Lele, but they're very easily switched out for Dedenne, so I wouldn't worry about it. And it actually plays a 1-1 line of Alolan Ninetales, and I think that's a good play. Alolan Ninetales, when you evolve up, you get to search your deck for 2 item cards and put them into your hand. You go Rare Candy. Now, to be fair, you can also go Mysterious Treasure here, and if you search Mysterious Treasure and Rare Candy, that is going to get you your Stage 2 Dragonite. And then, of course, remember you're searching supporters, etc., which makes it easier. It just gives you really, really good consistency. The only downside is we have lost the good Alolan Vulpix, which was a really good turn 1 option, searching out 2 Pokemon for 0 energy. It's gone. Nothing really worth crying about. Now, in terms of energy, you play triple acceleration energy, you play water, you play lightning. You've got to play all of them, to be honest with you. It's pretty gosh darned important. Now, in terms of trainers, there are a few that are more important than others. We have, for instance, got 4 Rare Candy, which is pretty huge, and Mysterious Treasure. Discard a card from your hand, search for a Dragon or Psychic Pokemon and put them into your hand. To be fair, this is actually really annoying because this will search Tapu Lele, won't search Dedenne, Boo Hiss, etc. But you can't win them all. The other huge card we've got here is Lance Prism Star. Lance Prism Star is absolutely gigantic here. Lance Prism Star reads, you can only play this card if one of your Pokemon was knocked out during your opponent's last turn. Search your deck for up to 2 Dragon Pokemon and put them onto your bench. Doesn't say basic. So essentially, as long as you can get one of the supporter grabbing Dragonite out, you get anything KO'd, and then you can use that Dragonite to search for Lance, Lance to search whatever 2 Dragonite you want, and then you're off. And that's why this might work in a format where other Stage 2 decks don't work. You've got Mysterious Treasure, you've got Lance Prism Star, and with Alolan Ninetales to grab your Rare Candy, you might actually get set up. And this is a great deck when it sets up. You got a non-GX deck with huge HP, you search supporters, you accelerate energy, you've got good attacks, and then you got a GX that can come in and smash anything. Yes! That sounds good to me. Now, in terms of other supporters here, Volkner is huge. Volkner searches out a Lightning Energy and an item card. Items are largely probably going to be your Rare Candy or your Mysterious Treasure, but you need Lightning Energy especially to attach with Dragonite. So that sounds pretty gosh darn convenient. We are playing Erica's Hospitality, just as pretty good draw. But we're also playing Rosa here. And Rosa is a really, really good card, especially in a deck like this. You see, Rosa only works if you had a Pokemon KO during the previous turn, but you're playing a single prize deck mostly, so that'll happen quite a lot. Search your deck for a Pokemon, trainer, and basic energy. Like, for instance, I don't know, Dragonite, Rare Candy, and an energy to get rolling. You are really able to maximize your options here. I know Stage 2 decks are supposed to be inconsistent, and a lot of the time they are. But when you can use Volkner and Lance and Rosa all in the same deck, your chances of hitting those Stage 2s go up massively. Now, in terms of stadiums, you can go Power Plant here. Now, not if you want to use your Alolan Ninetales, but just wait till you're finished. It's a pretty good counter against stuff like Mewtwo and Mew and Naganadel, for instance. And you can also go Viridian Forest here. You really need to have the energy in hand in order to accelerate it with Dragonite. This helps you search it out really quite nicely indeed. We have Energy Spinner here, because if you go second, it lets you search for any free basic energy. That is going to be invaluable when you get your Dragonite up and rolling, because you need them in hand to accelerate them. And Great Catcher here is your Guster of choice. Discard 2 cards from your hand, switch your opponent's active Pokemon of a benched EX or GX. Everyone's playing it. Join the party, ladies and gentlemen. Join the party. And we need to mention Island Challenge Amulet here. This is a Pokemon tool card that you attach to an EX or GX Pokemon. They lose 100 HP, but they only give up 1 prize. It's alright on Dragonite, but you really want the 250 HP. This is great on something like Alolan Ninetales or Dedenne. Because you know what? Now your opponent has no real need to go after and KO them. They only give up 1 prize. That is huge. And there's no point going after a 1 prize Alolan Ninetales and leaving your opponent having their Dragonites running absolutely rampant. And then the one card I haven't mentioned yet is Guzma and Hala. We like Guzma and Hala. Now, it lets you search for a Stadium card, which is fine. But if you discard 2 cards from your hand, you can also search for a Pokemon tool and a special energy card. This is how you search triple acceleration energy. That is the main purpose of that card in this deck. It's great to get your Island Challenge Amulet or whatever other tools you might play. It's great to get your Power Plant or whatever other stadiums you might play, but really here, we want it to get triple acceleration energy. I adore this deck. It's gone and won a tournament over in Japan. I want it to be flat out amazing. It's got a much better chance than any other Stage 2 decks we've got at the moment, and for that alone, I absolutely love it. But I'd like to know what you think about it, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And do please make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, where we talk about a whole bunch of games that don't even have any Pokemon in. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.